Hey there, Scorpio. This is your tarot card reading for March 2022. Let's get into your Celtic Cross. In your current situation, you have the Seven of Coins, external forces, Seven of Swords. What's above you? Queen of Swords. Below you, King of Coins. In the past, Five of Swords. In the near future, Queen of Cups. Your attitude of the situation, Six of Swords. Your environment, Ten of Cups. Hopes and fears, Eight of Coins. Long-term outcome, you have the Two of Swords. The bottom of the deck, which is the influencing energy or lesson to be learned, is the Nine of Swords. So it indicates that there is some issues with fears and anxiety, possibly trouble sleeping. There is a decent amount of swords in this reading from glancing at these cards. So it could be that there is some type of problem that you've been trying to resolve, or something that really is outside of your control, and you're spending a lot of time kind of thinking about it. So in your recent past, you have the Five of Swords here, which is basically a concept of winning at all costs, not knowing when to walk away from a lose-lose situation. And in your hopes and fears, there's the Eight of Coins, which is kind of working on a talent or skill that you have where you really put your heart and soul into it, and you can create something of value. It's usually related to work. And at the current situation, you have here the Seven of Coins, which is kind of investing in something that you are hoping it would be of a certain value to you, and it hasn't really kind of come to fruition. With the Seven of Swords, it's kind of a usually liar, stealer, cheater kind of energy. And it really, with the sevens, it's kind of testing your will. And with the Seven of Swords, it's testing your will when it comes to thought process, communication, being kind of upright and honest. I'm kind of sensing this as possibly even a sense of imposter syndrome that you might be feeling. So let's clarify the Five of Swords. You have the Ten of Cups and the Magician, which are pretty much positive cards. It's creating the having the ability to create, manifest what you want for your future, having the skills, talent, confidence to do that, and basically having a happy life, happy family, happy environment, community, which seems kind of in contrast to the Five of Swords, which basically is perhaps trying to do those things, but almost a false sense of victory if they were to accomplish, creating what they want. It's doing it in a way where everyone loses. So I'm going to clarify the Magician here. You have the King of Wands. So, excuse me. it could be that in, somewhere in your past, you learn that to get certain things, you have to act in a certain way. You have to be bold. You have to kind of put yourself out there. And maybe you picked up certain things about, being a leader, or kind of trying to lead the pack, where maybe it was miscommunicated, and it came across as you need to, win at all costs type of thing. So I'm going to clarify the current situation with the Seven of Coins here. You have the Judgment card, and you have the Ace of Wands. So it seems that there was some endeavor where you were hoping it would be of value. Maybe you started some course, maybe a business you were trying to start up, and you're really doing an assessment of where you are now is where you were hoping to be, and whether that initial drive that you had is still going to be there. So with the Ace of Wands, it's, new ideas, innovation, opportunities. And with the Judgment card, it's reflecting, like an honest moment of reflection of the decisions that you made, that choices that you pursued based on, the situation at the time, accepting responsibility, letting go of whatever baggage is attached to it, and accepting it and moving forward. So I'm going to clarify the Judgment card there. You have the Ten of Wands. So it's kind of feeling like, in looking back on it, you took on too much, or it was too ambitious of a goal. It could be that you were trying to, like I said, if there was some way that you learned on how to lead the pack and make your move, and you just didn't do it in a way that really got you where you wanted to be. That's kind of what I'm sensing there. I'm going to take a look at the Seven of Swords and clarify that, and see if you're kind of fooling yourself, or there's someone there in your world that's kind of trying to, get something past you. You have the Page of Cups and the Page of Pentacles, which is kind of immature energy, just learning, kind of starting out. With the Page of Cups, it's creativity, imagination, really eager to learn about the world, open heart, open mind. The Page of Pentacles, it's really about learning and, learning the value of something. So it could be, what I'm kind of sensing is, Scorpio, you were really ambitious about something. Perhaps you didn't have a plan set up. Perhaps you you took some shortcuts along the way, and you really, it's kind of showing up in your progress of what you were trying to accomplish. Your attitude about this situation, you have the Four of Swords. I don't know if I said Six of Swords, but it was before, but it's the Four of Swords, which is really, you're kind of mentally over it. You need to just step back and recover from this. So I'm going to clarify it. You have the Eight of Cups and the Four of Wands. So it's basically walking away from something that no longer serves you. And with the Four of Wands, it's kind of trying to, it seems here there was some kind of milestone you were trying to reach, something that you wanted to be proud of, and really it's not turning out to be that, and your attitude is kind of like you're over it. You just need some time. In your conscious mind, the Queen of Swords, which is really trying to have a good sense of communication, reason, analysis, and honesty. So let me go ahead and clarify that. You have the Five of Swords again, and you have the Emperor. So it can be that you are trying to make decisions with a balanced heart and mind, but there's still something that is attached to the situation in the past of learning to kind of win at all costs. And with the Emperor, it's possibly something you learned from maybe like a father figure, about perhaps someone who was more traditional and rigid. Let me clarify the Emperor. You have the Ace of Pentacles there. So it could be that this individual was able to kind of create businesses or be prosperous, and you in your conscious mind are kind of trying to be that way in where you are now. You're trying to make the best decisions at this point. In your unconscious mind, you have the King of Coins, King of Pentacles, which is basically, again, this could be like a father figure that you learned from, or you were trying to emulate, or someone who in your life that kind of worked their way up, maybe had their own business, and really you're trying to emulate that. So let me clarify the King of Coins. You have the Hermit, and you have the Three of Cups. So with the Hermit, it's someone who has life experience. It's almost as, if the King of Coins or King of Pentacles decided to retire and took their inner wisdom with them. There's nothing they need to prove to anybody else. And the Three of Cups is about celebration of community and relationships and so forth. But the Hermit is really not trying to maintain those ties with people outside of the Hermit. So let me go ahead and clarify that. The Ace of Swords. You have a lot of aces here. So it's kind of seeming that in your unconscious mind, something that's there behind the scenes kind of operating is a sense of kind of building up your kingdom and not really needing to interact with others, and it's almost like someone who's cut off the social aspect. Just it's about pursuing their goals and being victorious. So this is kind of lingering in the background of your mind. However, in your environment, you have the Ten of Cups, which is all about relationships, families, connections, and connecting emotionally. So let me clarify that. You have the Nine of Cups, and you have the Lovers. So your environment is really supportive. It's really there to help you realize your potential, and it's coming from a place of love and wanting the best for you. Whether or not you kind of lean on that, jump into that, is kind of up to you, and it seems that you might, because in the near future you have the Queen of Cups. I'm going to clarify the Lovers though here in the environment. You have the High Priestess, which is a different kind of duality in the sense that some people see things in extremes, but life is not about the extremes. It's everything that's filled within it as well, and really being in touch with who you are, and also with secrets. So kind of here you have your environment is loving and supportive, and perhaps there is a sense of kind of intuition that you can tap into if you kind of pursue this avenue of more dealing with your feelings and positive feelings, and not being so wrapped up in winning and material things. So I'm going to clarify the High Priestess. You have the Strength card. So really, I'm seeing that there is support. You can get affection, love. You can learn how to tap into who you are, your intuition, and it really can lead to a place of acceptance, compassion. So there's a lot of life lessons to be learned from your environment if you choose to learn from it. I'm going to clarify the Queen of Cups in your future. You have the King of Pentacles, and then you have the Five of Pentacles. So you have someone who is abundant, can provide for themselves, provide for others, and a card that kind of indicates that there's a sense of lack. So I'm kind of sensing that this has to do with you trying to be in a place where you're in touch with your emotions and wanting to, again, be the best at that and not really being great at it, because you are just now trying. And really, when you come from a place of emotion, you have to let things you have to be open to feeling. And it seems that you are kind of with the cutting of corners and trying to win and have this kind of it's all or nothing mentality. Don't give up on the feeling aspect of it. It's going to be a challenge for you, it seems. In your hopes and fears, you have this Eight of Coins, Eight of Pentacles, which kind of we discussed earlier about perhaps a business idea, career. I'm going to clarify that. You know, the Four of Pentacles and the Moon, which is kind of wanting financial security and not really having clarity on the path to get there, and that kind of causing some fear and anxiety. So I'm going to clarify the moon. You have the Empress here, which is about abundance and creativity. And really you need to, you can tap into that. That's there for you, kind of like how your environment is there for you to be supportive. So I'm going to clarify this Empress card here. You have the Two of Pentacles, which is kind of negotiating, trying to figure things out. So kind of seeing that this is really your approach to a business plan or a plan for your career. And the long-term outcome is Two of Swords, which is kind of a sense of a stalemate, but it's really needing to make a choice, and it's kind of the not making a decision is comforting. That sense of anxiety is almost a place where you live in not making a decision, which brings me back to the Nine of Swords over there. So let me clarify the Two of Swords. You have the Hierophant, and you have the Three of Swords. So what I'm kind of getting from this here is clarifying the Two of Swords is that really you need to make a decision. There is a path you can go down where there's not a sense of security, and there might be upset and disappointment along the way, but it's even more disappointing if you have an expectation of how things should be all the time. I'm going to clarify the Hierophant. You have the Fool. So it's as if that you're feeling like, again, everything's all or nothing, but really you need to be open to pleasant surprises, potential for learning new things and experiencing new things. And sometimes it can lead to disappointment or upset, but if you are more open, if you are more accepting, if you kind of lean on your support system, you can learn certain lessons and grow from it and not be more determined to win. So let me clarify the Fool. And you have the Chariot, which is basically victory and overcoming obstacles and really having the will to reach your goals. So I guess the question, Scorpio, is what is your goal? Is your goal to win just for the sake of winning? Is your goal to, connect with people and really have a legacy of, how you've impacted people where there's a good impression, or does it not matter what the impression is? The bottom of the clarifying deck is the Three of Pentacles, which is a sense of working with others to not only help you enhance your skill, but to give you a platform to display your skills. So perhaps in going forward, maybe getting some feedback, asking for some advice, and not doing things just on your own out of a sense of pride or something. So let me go ahead and pull an oracle card for some words of wisdom from the universe. You have mutually beneficial venture. There is an extraordinary connection at the forefront of your life at this moment. Utilize this relationship to benefit everyone concerned. So this pretty much says to look in your environment, see how you can get help from others there, help others in your environment, and collaborate. So I'm hoping this provides you a helpful perspective, and we'll see you next time. Take care.